When I'm running, I don't have to talk to anybody. I don't have to listen to anybody. It's part of my day I cannot live without. This is a quote from Haruki Murakami, one of my favorite authors, in his novel, What I Talk About When I Talk About Running. I think it really captivates the feelings that I have towards running, a chance to mentally decompress while getting more physically fit. It's an awesome experience, but it can be intimidating to people who haven't done it before. In this speech, I'm hoping to introduce you to my hobby of running, as well as give you a clear path on how to start your own running adventure without being overwhelmed. Personally, running has changed my life. Back in 2013, I was pretty overweight and unhealthy. I felt like it was time to get control of my health, and I felt like a 5K was probably a pretty solid starting goal. 5 kilometers is about 3.1 miles, and it's doable for someone in about 2 months of training. It really depends on where you're starting from. It took me about 9 weeks to get ready to run my first 5K. When I started my 5K training program, I couldn't even run for 5 minutes straight without losing my breath and having to stop. By the end of it, I could run for over 30 minutes, and I made that 3.1 mile mark on my first race. It felt great. Since then, I've lost over 40 pounds, I've run several 5Ks, I've run a 10K, and now I am training for a half marathon. In this speech, I'm going to introduce you to how to train for a 5K run by describing what equipment is needed, the proper mentality and exercise plan, and how to fuel up with good nutrition. Luckily for aspiring runners, there's not a lot of equipment that you need to get into this sport. The most important piece is the shoes. Running shoes come in all sorts of different brands. You can get Asics, Saucony, New Balance, Nike, Adidas. The list goes on and on. In a 2015 article published in the British Journal of Sports Medicine, the researchers found that the most important part between correlating having a great running experience, being injury-free, and picking the right shoes is just comfort. You should go to a running store and try on a bunch of different brands and get them to analyze your gait and kind of see what exactly would help you perform your best and stay injury-free while you're out there hitting the pavement. The next important piece is running clothing. This is actually a dry fit shirt for TCC's 5K that's being held tomorrow on March 8th. Really excited to run in that. Dry fit clothing is what a lot of athletes prefer to wear. It's moisture wicking and it keeps you nice and dry while you're out there jogging. A shirt like that and a nice pair of shorts are plenty to keep you comfortable while running indoors on a treadmill or outside in a nice summer or spring day. However, in this kind of really chilly March weather, you'll probably want to wear layers, like a nice jacket like this, or a pair of running pants, or both. And when I'm outside here in Tacoma, I run with a pair of running gloves and this sweet hat. It has holes for my glasses so I can wear it without it pinching my head. It makes me look a little dorky, but it keeps me nice and warm out there so I can really focus on my exercise. The next important part of training for a 5K race is preparing yourself both mentally and physically. You're going to have to find a program that works for you. There's plenty of programs out there to help novices become seasoned 5K runners. The one that I used is called Couch to 5K, or C to 5K. It's a phone application by a company called RunDouble. It is a 9-week program that begins with short amounts of running coupled with walking and eventually builds you up to running for a solid 30 minutes. Running 3 miles is no easy task, so it's important that you prepare for it. Couch to 5K is nice because it has you running about 3 days a week, and the other days are dedicated to light exercise, like going for walks or short bike rides. This will allow you to work out different muscle groups and allow your running muscles to recuperate. Another important tip for running a 5K is to pick a race. You should really pick a 5K race even before you start training. This will keep you motivated. It'll give you a kind of carrot at the end of the exercise stick. Most 5K training programs last about 7 to 9 weeks, so you should be selecting something that is about 2.5 months out. This will allow you plenty of time to prepare, but will give you a goal to focus on. I want to now focus on nutrition, when and what you should be eating to prepare for a race. In a New York Times article, Leslie Bonsi, the director of sports nutrition at the University of Pittsburgh, suggested eating about an hour before any physical activity. This will allow you ample time to digest before you go out for a run, so you don't have a brick sitting in your stomach. The meal should be appetizer sized, which is easy to visualize by looking at your fist. About that big. It should be carbohydrate rich. Carbohydrates are really the fuel for the body, and you want to make sure that you have a lot in that small meal before you run. When I'm getting ready for a run, one of my favorite things to eat is just a banana and some peanut butter. It helps me fuel up and keeps my energy levels up while I'm out there exercising. Another critically important thing to performing at your best and staying healthy is drinking plenty of water. In the same New York Times article, Leslie Bonsi suggests drinking about 20 ounces of water an hour before your physical activity. This should be followed by drinking anywhere from 14 to 40 fluid ounces of water each hour of activity, depending on how much you sweat. By choosing the right equipment, finding proper motivation and a great training plan, and fueling up with good nutrition, you'll be running your first 5K with confidence in no time. Running 5Ks have been really wonderful for me, and exercising is a great way to stay in shape and help live a long and healthy life. I hope you find them as enjoyable as I have. Thank you for listening.